Right folks, good morning. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to the 8th and final episode of Winter Wanderings. And I promised you I'd take you on this final episode somewhere special. And certainly where I am at the moment, I consider this to be a very special place indeed. I'm up in the Lake District, just on the outskirts of Ambleside. And I'm going to go over a couple of passes, Wrynose Pass and Hardknott Pass. I'm sure many of you have heard of them. Some of you, if not many of you, have probably done them. But there will be a few out there as well who perhaps are aware of the passes, but maybe have never experienced them firsthand. So, as a second alternative, just see where I am here, as a second alternative to not actually being able to physically do it today, by all means watch the video. Hello. Hey. Hello. Aren't you lovely? Aren't you lovely? Eh? Right, I shall crack on. Yes, so I'm doing this video so that those who aren't fortunate enough to be able to attend here at the moment, hi there, can view the video and hopefully gain an insight into what it's all about and maybe inspire them to come and visit it this year if you get the opportunity. So enough of that, I'm going to just sit back, enjoy the views. There may still be a bit of ice on some of these roads. If there is, hopefully not too much. It's a relatively warm day today, about 3 or 4 degrees, so it's not too bad. I picked a good day to come out. I brought some lunch with me, so I shall stop at some appropriate point and have a little bite to eat. But today it's mostly just about enjoying the ride, taking in the scenery, and I think already we've got a photo opportunity. There's going to be plenty of photo opportunities on this little ride, that's for sure. I'll put some photos in onto the video in and amongst. Right, off we go again. So today is another fine example of just taking the plunge and getting out on the bike. I did check the weather forecast last night and it said it was going to be reasonable, about 3 or 4 degrees here, very low chance of rain. However, that didn't tell the same story when I set off from home this morning, but I kept seeing little peaks of blue clouds, well, blue skies, white clouds, so I thought, well, come on, let's just make an effort and get a move on. So it takes about 2 hours to get here out to Ambleside from my home address, but again, you make the effort and you get rewarded with beautiful scenery like this, and it makes it all worthwhile. So there's a couple of cars up ahead of me. Don't know whether the camera's going to be able to pick them up or not. I'm going to try and keep my distance from them because I don't want to end up right up their asses, because there's some nasty gradients and some very sharp bends, and the last thing I want is to get stuck behind a car and it have to end up rolling back into me or stopping on a bend when I'm mid-manoeuvre. That wouldn't go well. And already I'm gaining on them, which I don't really want to do. My ears have just popped. So the altitude's climbing, I'm at 1121 feet. We'll see how high it is when we get to the top. 1241 feet at the moment. So I'm just going to pull over here and I think give that car an opportunity to bugger off. And in the meanwhile, let's just have a look at the scenery here. So I've done this route, I think, on every single bike I've ever owned. Everything from my Kawasaki GTR 1400, BMW K1600, done it on my GS Adventures 1200, 1250s, and now I'm doing it on the Husky. In fact, I think I've done it on the Husky once before. I've certainly done Wrynose. I'm not sure if I did Hardknott, but yeah, I mean, just taking these views. There's an old Roman fort as well just off here. I'm not sure if it's off Wrynose Pass or whether it's off Hardknott. I have a feeling it's off Hardknott, but I'll point it out to you. Well, you can't see it from the road, to be fair, but I'll point out the approximate location of it when we get a bit closer to it. The only thing with these areas like this, I mean, like here, you can park on here, and certainly on weekends, and in particular bank holiday weekends, it's chaotic on here because you get people coming across who don't know how to drive. They don't know how to use these little passing places, and it can get very dangerous. And it spoils it for us bikers because you're stopping and starting all the time rather than keeping that continuity going. And like on hills like this, like you can't always see around the corner. You need to keep your momentum going. Alright, we've got a bit of water pool in here. Hopefully there's no ice. Certainly haven't seen any snow, not even up on the higher elevations. So 1259 feet, we're dropping a bit here obviously. And we've got a little Dolly the sheep here. Oh, a bit of windshield there on my face. So there's a little bit of ice there, just up the roadside, nothing major. Not like when I did Sky House Reservoir the other day. Of which, if you haven't seen that video, that'll be coming out shortly. In fact, yeah, you have seen it, haven't you? Yeah, because that's gone out. I put that out on the 27th of January. Right, where's this dude gonna stop? So that's Forestry Commission of England. It's a bit more chilly here, and I've got a cyclist now coming towards me. Just slow it down a tad. Give him a wave. He didn't look very happy, did he? Probably wishes he was on a Husky instead of a rally. Right, we've got a wild, rabid flock of sheep here. Such an easy bike is this to ride over here. I never really had any issues riding my K1600 over here, even though it was a very heavy bike. But I think that was probably because obviously it's such a low profile bike. You can get your feet firmly down on the ground. But I had a couple of dodgy moments, for want of a better descriptive term, on my GS Adventure coming over here. I found it quite difficult. Just on some of the steep hills, blind corners, adverse cambers. That's very kind of it. It's pulled over for me. Thank you. Yeah, I struggled a bit sometimes with my GS Adventure coming over here. I just found it a bit too cumbersome and heavy. Right, so that is basically Wrynose Pass. I'm going to take a right here, which takes you over towards Hardknott Pass. I think if you carry on here, it might still be part of Wrynose. But anyway, as I said, I shall take a right here onto Hardknott Pass. I'll just show you these warning signs. So road suitable for cars and light vehicles only. Unsuitable for all vehicles in wintry conditions. So Wrynose is steady away. You've still got to be careful on it, but there's nothing majorly technical on it if you're a reasonably competent rider. This one, on the other hand, Hardknott, it demands the utmost respect from you. And if you don't treat it with respect, it'll bite you on the bum sometimes. And what I don't like about this, there's a like an S-bend up here. It's totally blind, and I'm always conscious of the fact and anticipate that somebody might come around the corner, but you never know whether that's reciprocated by other road users, and so you've just got to be a bit mindful. But yeah, it's such a light bike as this. I don't think I've had any. I don't think I would have any issues rather stopping it on here. This is a bit dodgy, how it always was on the GS. That particular bend there. But again, I'm sure the GoPro's not doing this justice. But we'll just keep an eye on the elevation, which is displayed in the bottom right-hand corner of my sat-nav. This is another sharp bend. Down into first. Bit of clutch control, keep the revs going. Easy peasy. And again, you just got to watch out looking through the corners. But it's so light as this bike. It's a joy coming up here, it's easy. But you're still going to watch out for vehicles coming towards you, obviously, who don't appreciate that it's not as easy for you to stop on a bend as it might be for a four-wheeled vehicle. pull over and let this car come through. I'm glad I've met him here and not 100 yards behind me. So yeah, that Roman fort, it's down here. I shall point it out when I get a bit closer. 1257 feet. $12.94 feet. And then we start to drop a bit here. Alright, so we're dropping a bit of altitude now. But still, what an absolute breathtaking view. So there's a really sharp left-hand bend up here that a lot of people, when they're doing this on the bikes, they mysteriously miss this little bit out on the videos. It's very tight, so I always just check there's nothing coming up. I shall drop it down and just feed it through nice and gently. Right, we've been gritting here. Hopefully there's no ice. I'll find out in a minute if there is. I'll just feed it down here nice and steady. Don't end up sliding on the rock salt either, do I? Yeah, so we've definitely got some ice up ahead there on the right hand side. There we go. And down to 900 and something feet now. So I might just find somewhere where I can just take a pew and have my bite to eat. Have my lunch that I brought with me. I ain't brought much, just a drink and an apple, but it'll keep me going. This will do, just over here on my right. And I think this is the sign for the Roman fort. Here we go. So what does this say? Hardknott Roman Fort, the National Trust English Heritage. To have arrived here, close to Hardknott Roman Fort, you may have travelled in part along the route of a Roman road. This road extended from a coastal fort at Ravenglass, running up to Eskdale, or running up the Eskdale Valley, to your present position, before continuing over the Hardknott and Wrynose Passes towards other forts at Ambleside and Kendal beyond. This fort, on the flanks of the Hardknott Pass, and with commanding views down Eskdale, would have provided a base for Roman troops policing the potential hostile native population living in the valleys and on the lower fells. There's a bit more information there. So it says it's built early in the 2nd century AD during the reign of the Emperor Hadrian. The fort seems to have been initially occupied only briefly and was probably reoccupied later in the 2nd century. It housed an infantry unit, a cohort, of 500 men who we know to have been the 4th cohort of Dalmatians. This may have been the fort called Medio Bogdum, if that's how you pronounce that, in surviving Roman records. Extensive archaeological excavations were carried out in the late 19th century, and consolidation and further excavation in the 50s and 60s. The work has revealed the remains of the fort's defences and gateways and parts of the internal building arrangement, including the commanding officer's house, the headquarters building and the granaries, all of which may be seen today. A little way outside the main gate lie the remains of the bathhouse, probably one of the few opportunities for leisure in this remote location, unless you're into rambling. Upslope from the fort lies the parade ground, an unusual survival from the period and evidence of strict military discipline which governed the lives of the troops. There we go. Every day is a learning day, with a bit of history thrown in. Right, well, I think I'm going to have my lunch now, so I shall come back to you in a jiffy. I'll continue down the bottom here. There is a pub down here. I think it's called, yeah, I think it is actually called the Woolpack, like the one in Emmerdale. Probably won't bother calling in because I've just had a bite to eat there. That'll keep me going till I get home. But I'll show you guys where it is, and then at least you know there's a pub down here if you want to get a pub lunch and a drink at the end of the road or the end of your ride, if you choose to do this. It's not a bad pub. Food's nothing special, I suppose. Typical sort of food that you might expect from a pub out here in the middle of nowhere. But it'll fill a gap. Or is that fill a hole? It'll fill a hole, that's what I meant to say. But again, hopefully the camera's picking that up, just how lush that is. Beautiful. I do like it around here. The road's a bit crap. Don't expect a smooth ride if you come around here. I don't know who tarmacked this road, but it's not particularly billiard smooth. You've got to be careful coming down here as well, that even if you come down in first gear, you can find, I mean I'm in second at the moment, but if you come down even in first and just rely on a bit of engine braking, you'll find that your bike will start running away with you. It's that steep. Parts of this is I think they're 1 in 3, are they? Possibly? Or is it 1 in 4? I think it might even be 1 in 3, you know. Anyway, so that's the end, as near as damn it, of Hardknott Pass. So I'll just ride down here, like I say, until where the pub is, show you it, and then I'm going to head back over and back into Ambleside. I think there's a youth hostel association down here as well. If you want to stay in a lodge like that, And there's definitely some camping around here. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but there's a few campsites around here. But you cannot wild camp around here, not legally anyway, but I'm sure people do. I suppose like many other things, if you're discreet and you keep out of the way and you don't leave any trace, nobody will know, would they? There it is, Youth Hostel Association, just on the right. So on the way to the pub, go past that. And then the pub is just here on the right hand side, the white building. And the Woolpack Inn. How do you do?
Husqvarna. Nice bike.
It's easy doing this pass on that. It's so right, we're just leaving the pub. Just been chatting with these two bikers here. Very nice guys, Bing and Neil. So they said that they're just staying locally over at Keswick side with some friends, and they wanted to get out on the bike, so they fancied doing Hardknott, and then they're going to go from Hardknott over towards Wrynose. So I said I'd follow them back over. They've never done it before, so I don't want to put any pressure on them. I'm just going to keep my distance. I've made them aware of the bad bend. So I won't include all of this journey back over here, because obviously you've seen it on the way over, but I'll just do some of the highlights. Yeah, so 30% gradient, so it's steeper than 1 in 4, isn't it? Which is what I thought. Right, I think that's got rid of the bad tarmac section. That's where I had my bite to eat. So we're heading up that big hill there. A very imposing hill. I'm glad it stayed nice today anyway for this final episode. Right. That's the hardest bit done. There's some dark clouds up ahead. I wonder if it's going to pay it down before I get back to Ambleside. I'm just concentrating on my riding at the moment, so I apologise for not speaking. Nice little stream down there. This bit's steep. They've got some big chunky legs, those sheep, haven't they? And some more bikers. Everybody seems to be enjoying this and taking advantage of the drier weather today, better weather. They seem to like laying here, these sheep. There's huggins of the buggers. Alright, see how they enjoyed that. What did you reckon then?
Yeah, it was good that.
Yeah.
I got it fucked up, messed up back there when my foot went out. You see it?
Yeah. But it's just a natural reaction because it can catch you off guard a bit, can't it? That.
It made me for the first time.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Oh, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It wasn't as hard as I expected.
Right, well I appreciate you letting me follow you over. Yeah, nice to meet you anyway. Yeah, take care and check out the channel, you'll be on the video obviously.
We'll have a look.
Yeah, so...
Is it on now?
Yes.
Mother, I'm sorry for riding like that.
So are you going into Ambleside then?
Yeah, we just stopped to get some pictures of
Yep.
the
No worries, yeah. Okay, been a pleasure meeting you. Oh, take care. Oh. See you later. Right, so they've just called off there just to get some photos, which is exactly what I did on the way over. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much guys for letting me follow you over. Alright, we take a right here, clear left. And back towards Windermere and Kendal. So I just want to get down by the marina here, see if I can get a photograph of the bike by the boats. That's nice. How cool is that? Right then folks, it's time for me to make a move. So I'm still in Ambleside. I'll just include a couple of photos that I've taken there, and then I'm going to make a move and head off back home. It's going to take me a couple of hours and it's a Friday afternoon, so I'm going to hit probably quite a bit of traffic, certainly in some of the areas around Skipton and that neck of the woods. But I sincerely hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and in particular the series of videos I've done on this winter wanderings. If you've enjoyed them, by all means leave a comment down below, let me know. If you have any ideas excuse me, if you have any ideas for any new projects that you'd like me to see, that you'd like to see me do rather, in the very near future, again leave a comment down below, and if I think they're possible and interesting, I will certainly give them a stab. So thanks everybody for watching, take care, and I'll catch up with you on the next video. Ta-ra for now.